Wagwan, everybody.
Wagwan, wagwan.
we got a barn burner today. We got a barn burner today. Now, this episode is for who? As Ali would say, is for the people that are woke. But this episode is for those who are. It's if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you. So Rochelle, what are we talking about today, Rochelle?
Today we are talking about, are we living in the matrix? Do we really have a choice, or is it inevitable?
Mm. Elaborate. What do you think?
I think we are living in the matrix. We are all plugged in. We are all connected to this system that literally gets up and makes decisions for us. We may think we're making decisions, but ultimately, those decisions were already inevitably made for us by other people at the top. So, for example, like the ads that we see on TV. We don't even need those things, but because we see stars with them, then we have to get them, right? So the people who are stuck in iPhone world, right? The only reason people are creating all this excitement, okay, let me just call them out right now. They live in a bubble. Okay, it's a whole bubble that they be living in. That's why they have to have their they have to have the Mac, they have to have they have to have the iPhone, no, they have to have the AirPod. Now they have to have the this and the that, and it can't be used with any other software, even if it's trash, and they know it's trash. They know, right? And that's just one example of just us not making decisions because we want to, but we're making decisions because everybody around us has it. So now we have to get it, and we're literally plugged into this matrix of our own making. Ali, what you got to say? Rochelle is so quiet. Andrew, why are you laughing like a villain right now? What's up?
Oh, you just smashed all 10 of Ali toes. Mr. Baba?
I think that once you go iPhone, you don't go back. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
That was such a weak comeback. Okay.
Are we living in the matrix? We have the illusion of choice. I'm not sure if there is somebody controlling every movement because, obviously people go to jail. People still do dumb things. People still kill people. So I don't know if there's full control. I think that we as individuals have a freedom of choice. If there was, like in slavery times, if it was the Matrix, then slavery would have continued. But there were people that fought against the system and the powers that be and changed it. So that's what I believe. What about you, Trey?
So all right. So this conversation can get super interesting, right? So there are some. I was listening to some scientists over the weekend, and they were saying, that look, we are like so. Dr. Ivan van Sertima, right? He's a world-renowned historian. He was talking about that the ocean is alive, right? The ocean moves. He said you can get in a canoe, get in a canoe in the ocean, maybe not a canoe, but get in a boat in the ocean without any power and get from Africa to South America. like the ocean would just take you there, obviously because of currents and the way it moves, right? And he was saying when you're in these currents, there are millions of fish in the current, right? And so if you're fishing, like the fish will practically jump in your boat. I'm saying this to say that there's a school of thought that says the whole universe is an orgasm. Not say orgasm, is a organism, and we're all a part of the organism. Um, Additionally, our bodies have entire universes going on in it, right? So, like your heart got tons and tons and tons and tons of organisms moving around, causing the heart to work. So there's a school of thought that says, what if we are a part of an orgasm? Oh, I don't know why I'm fumbling over this word. Of a part of an organism, right? And we are just playing a role. And that's part of where the premise of are we in a matrix? Because in the matrix, the people are plugged into a system, right? They don't know that they're plugged into a system. They're a part of the system, and they're just going on thinking that their existence is important or um, has I don't know if I should say no meaning, but they're a part of a system and they don't know, they're not cognizant of the fact that they're a part of a system. So in that frame of mind, I don't know if we're in a matrix or not. As it relates to choice, it's true. Be, like the marketing is so powerful. Um, we don't understand how powerful marketing is. And when you have marketing, you can, like good marketing, you almost take the choice away from the people because we are so susceptible to marketing that you're sitting around the table and you're watching television and a Burger King commercial comes on and you start craving Burger King. You start craving burgers. Your mouth starts to water. Your stomach, all of a sudden, you just ate dinner, but all of a sudden your stomach starts to grumble, right? Because you're hungry. You need a burger. Like that's how important, you just finished eating. But now, because you saw a piece of marketing, you're now hungry again. Like your body isn't really hungry, but your mind told your body, you could do with a burger right now. And that's implicit messages I'm talking about. We're not even talking about the subliminal messages that studies have shown exist and that they work, right? And when you look at all these different aspects of our environment, maybe we don't have a choice. Maybe I wake up and I put on a blue tie, thinking that I'm being different, and I'm just fulfilling a programming that has been put inside of me for some time now. So the jury is out on the matrix. If we're in a matrix, the jury is out for me on that. But I'm not ruling out the possibility because like I said, you have different organizations out there, right? That you've heard of. You've heard of the federal bank, right? So the federal bank is what prints our money, right? Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew that. I knew that. And it's not owned by the government. It's
It's not.
privately owned.
It's not a government agency. So now think about that. Who are the people so powerful enough that they own the company that prints the money for Americans to use? Let me repeat that. Who are the people that owns the company that prints the money? You, when you think of a country's money, you think the government is who owns the money of their country. And so when you've heard of the Bilderbergs and you've heard of, all these different secret societies, that a lot of these wealthy people in the world, they're sitting on multiple of these, right? The G7 is the leaders of these countries, right? When you think of all these societies that people are a part of, like I was watching Succession, right? And the premise of the show is this family owns this major media conglomerate, right? And the time came to pick a president, and this family is sitting in a room, right? The dad and his kids are sitting in a room, and they're like, "Who do you want the next president to be?" And they start boxing about names. Now, this goes back to Rochelle's point about choice. So if I think I'm going to vote for a president, do I really have a choice when Rochelle is like, all right, we're going to put up Ali and Andre to run? Do we really have a choice? Technically, yes, you do. But if both of these people are going to go in there and do the same thing, you really didn't have a choice. So when you look at society in these kinds of frame of mind, we are in a matrix because we're a part of a system that we really don't have any control over, and somebody else does.
Okay, so another question for both you gentlemen. Do you think there is a way out? In the Matrix, Neo was the one, and he was able to make people unplug. He was able to bring them out. No, I'm not sure how many, I'm not sure if Dre watched the new Matrix. Ali, I'm sure you watched it, right? In the new Matrix, people were so comfortable living in their lives that nobody wanted to be unplugged. Everybody was just accepting of the misery, accepting of, oh, well, I have no choice. I might as well just go ahead and do that. Do you think there is a way to get out of the matrix? Ali, what do you think?
I don't think we're in the matrix. I think that with this new metaverse thing coming up and everybody tapping into, having your eyes locked in to a new world where people are actually buying land for this digital world, and you'll be able to buy clothes in this digital world. I think that's more of a matrix than what we're experiencing now.
So you're telling me that every decision you've ever made was never based, or you were never pressured to make a decision?
Yeah, of course I was pressured to make a decision.
Okay. And do you think you even had a choice in the decision that you made?
Yeah. Yeah, you always have a choice. Even if I was to get in the metaverse, that would be a choice of mine,
Okay, so I'm not sure if both you or Dre ever heard of the Hegelian theory, and it was a theory, but then it was proven. So it is where you have two opposing sides, and then these two opposing sides are, one is very left, one is very right, but the puppets pulling all the strings, it didn't matter which one you went to, whatever you decided, you were ultimately making a decision based on the puppet masters. Have you ever heard of that theory before?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
And okay, so they're saying every single country around the world, it doesn't matter how big or how small, always has a left side and always has a right side. But at the end of the day, like what Andre said, it's always the people at the top the 1%, the 0.0001%, that's literally pulling all the strings for every single country, for all our top officials. So it doesn't matter if you said, oh, I didn't vote, you actually voted. And if you said, I voted, you actually voted the way that they wanted you to vote. So basically, at the end of the day, everything that we have ever done was basically not a choice. If somebody already predetermined that choice for you. So everything along in society, even the ending of slavery, that was still somebody pulling all the major strings. Everything throughout time was always strings that were pulled because of the puppets at the top. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Ali said he doesn't believe that. So um, he doesn't believe it. But I do believe and understand that everything we do, there's some influence. Some influence has a role in everything that we do, and so when you look at society, right, and the way it's set up and structured, it's easy to say, yeah, we're in a matrix, right? Because at the end of the day, like Ali said, right, the system is set up so like one of the beauties of the American system is that everybody thinks that they have a chance to make it. That's why most people don't revolt, because even if the chance is the lotto, I'm going to stay in line because I have a chance. Do y'all think everybody have a chance to make it?
Well, we heard that if you pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So that's what's been said.
Yeah, but not everybody's boots got straps. Some people are
Not
wearing
everybody
straps.
have these boots.
Exactly.
Some people don't even have boots.
Dre, what do you mean by making it, actually?
Huh?
What is it you mean by making it?
So you remember you told me once that there are people living here on earth right now that are living in heaven?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, those people made it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Can everybody, oh man, yo, that's a great question. I think that if everybody was on the same plateau, like people will find another way to, disenfranchise themselves from the rest of the people. Like, that's the human nature. It's human nature to, I guess, go into groups and not want to be like everybody. For instance, I love sneakers. Sneakers makes me happy, and that puts me in a different group from other people. So I don't think that there will ever be, everybody's not going to be able to make it. That was my point.
I agree. And I think the system was designed so that not everybody will make it, right? I forgot what I was watching. I forgot. But basically, it was saying that all the governments in the Western countries could solve homelessness. However, if everybody is guaranteed a home, then you don't have to work so hard for businesses, and then these businesses won't make the profits that they would normally make. So therefore, you cannot solve world hunger. You cannot solve homelessness. A system is naturally pre-selecting people who is going to make it. So I 100% agree.
How many people you think you know?
Very few.
You know very few people. You're 30. How much? You've been on the planet for over 30 years, and you know very few people.
Yes, because I keep my circle tight. What's the problem?
I didn't ask you how many people and you are friends. I asked you how many people you know.
Maybe a few hundreds.
A few hundred. Ali, how many people you think you know?
I've met probably over 300-400 people in my life. Maybe more.
Okay. I think it's a hell of a lot more than that. Have you guys met anybody who won the lotto?
How much?
No, but I've known. I haven't met them, but I've known people who are very close to
What
my
that mean?
friends, like the neighbor. I don't know the neighbor, but my friend's neighbor won the lotto, and you could see that the house, like they didn't move out the area. They built a big old house, like it was crazy. They were buying cars every 2 weeks. It was crazy, but I didn't know them personally.
Ah, gotcha. So I've never met or eat. So you're 1 degree of separation from the person who won the lotto. I've never met anybody who knew somebody who won a major lotto, a jackpot. Never. So when you ask me, can everybody make it, or if people are they, if they choose people to make it, I mean, millions of people are playing the lotto like every single day. If you won the lotto, do you know there are people who won the lotto more than once?
The guy that I'm telling you about, he won the lotto twice. He didn't win it once. He won it twice. So it's funny you would say that. And the first time he won maybe 20 to 30 million, and the second time he won about 50 million. Yeah, twice, not once,
My
twice.
Lord. So when you say, right, when you ask me if they're choosing who makes it, the guy, like the statistician says, if you spend $500 on lotto tickets, the chances of you winning the lotto is the same as if you bought one lotto ticket. Now that makes no sense because you know, I think a ticket costs $2, and you spent $500 worth of tickets, so you bought 250 tickets. You can't tell me that I have the same odds of winning as the guy who bought one. Right? And so it's like when you hear these odds and then one person wins twice, now how in the world are they going to know who bought which ticket, right? I don't know. But if you've ever, what's an eagle eye? Remember eagle eye?
Yeah.
If it's a theme, if this podcast has a theme, or one of the themes of this podcast has to be that movies are always, or let me put it in terms that Ali can appreciate. Is art impersonating life, or is life impersonating art?
That's a great question.
I believe the art comes first, and then life imitates what they see. Because all the movies that have preceded, okay, so for example, there's a movie called Idiocracy. And basically, two people went into this chamber. They were supposed to only go there for a year. They end up spending like 500 years. And they woke up in this dystopia where fools ran the country. Like everybody became stupid because they got the technology got us really stupid. And now all the decisions that were made was just stupid, right? And this movie was from 1994. And we can say over the last couple of years, okay, that was literally life taking art. And that's just one movie. You've seen so many movies before the pandemic that spoke about a mass pandemic that's going to wipe out half the country and the world is going to split in half. It's going to be a global devastation. That happened way before Corona. So I definitely believe that life follows art. Ali, what do you think?
I think that it's a dual thing. I think that nothing is new under the sun. And I have this crazy theory. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. I have this, just like the Matrix, you remember when they were saying there's been, so like not being religious has allowed me to, Rochelle, you always say, yo, which book are you getting this from? But I feel like not being religious has freed my mind in order to think about stuff in a bigger scale. So one of the things I thought about is, you see the pyramids, They are heavy as hell. Each one weighs like 2.2, some crazy number of tons, just each one stone. And it's no human can do that now, much less the technology they had back then. So I ponder a lot of things. You know what I mean? I ponder a lot of things. And one of the things I pondered is, just like the Matrix said, like this is the seventh cycle. What if we have been here before? What if we have been here multiple times as a human society? Because this is really, y'all, as y'all know, this is not really the year 2000. Human beings have been here way longer. And I think they said it's closer to, like, if we were to be counting the years, it would be closer to the year 12,000. And I thought about, what if we as human beings have done all of this already? What if we have come from dumbness to civilized to technology to robots that are so powerful that they look like us? They have their own energy. They can receive energy. What if we as human beings think we are robots? I mean, think we are free of thought? What if somebody else has the feed to what we see? They can see us. What if we have become so advanced that we've killed ourselves off and are creating a cycle again of the same thing, and every time we're trying to get it right? So I think there's nothing new under the sun, and we're doing it. We've done it multiple times. People have been here before. And, crazy stuff like that.
But you're literally explaining the Matrix. That's literally the Matrix, bro.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
The Matrix did say that, but it didn't really talk about humans creating robots, which then robots got so advanced that the robots could imagine if the robots think that they're human. You understand? What if there are people we are such advanced robots that we think we're human? Yes, I expect this.
There was a movie on Netflix. I don't know if you saw it, but that's literally the basis of the movie. It started out with these invaders coming in and literally just like killing off everybody. And, well, not everybody, most people. So the few hundred survivors, he went and he attacked one of these alien invaders. And when they attacked them and he took off the mask, it was actually humans. And the guy was like, we're here to take back our home. Like, we created you robots, and then you robots literally fought against us. We left, and now we're back to take back our home. So, Ali, there is a movie off that same premise. I forgot the name of it. Really good movie. Like, they had you all the way to the very, very end because you didn't know who was who because these robots look just like people. And the people look just like people. So you didn't know who you're really fighting against in the end.
Yeah.
So again, and that is another form of the Matrix. Because you don't know what to believe, right? You really don't know. Do you have a choice? Are we able to unplug? Can we ever unplug? Do we really have these choices?
Right. Like the pyramids got built and nobody has any type of explanation and we're just moving around. It perfectly fits with stars, the way stars are aligned, and nobody's ever been like, yo, how did they do this with no technology?
Well, so there's a school of thought. There's no proof for it, but there's a couple schools of thought around how the pyramids were built. One school of thought is that human beings, like you mentioned earlier, human beings got to a certain level of intelligence and technology that allowed us to have the capability to build these structures and as intricate as they are, and we lost the knowledge or the technology to do so. Because in the age of when those pyramids were built, so they have carvings on the in the pyramids, right? And in carvings in the pyramid, it talks about airplanes. But airplanes weren't built until, what's the name of them two brothers, the Wright brothers? Like they built the first thing to fly, the first, man carrier in the air, right? And this, the Wright brothers were how many years after the pyramids were built, right? So that's one school of thought. Another school of thought is that human beings got to a certain level of intelligence mentally, where they were able to do certain things with their minds, and so the knowledge was there because of the evolution of the humans at the time, and some of those humans died, and some of them went to live inside the core of the earth. Now, I'm only telling you schools of thought as to why, schools of thought I've heard as to why the pyramids are where they are and how they came to be. There are also other schools of thought that says aliens came down and helped to build those pyramids, and that would be why we don't know or have the technology anymore, because aliens is who gave us the technology. So there are multiple schools of thought around the pyramids. I don't know what to believe. I don't know how they came to be. All I know is it's true. You have a stone that our most powerful crane would break if it tried to lift it. And they have hundreds of these stones piled high in the desert.
In a beautiful shape, too.
Forget beautiful. And it's symmetric.
Cut precisely. Precision cutting. And not only that, it was a conductor of electricity. I don't know if you guys heard it had a gold cap on the top, and they used to produce electricity for people also.
Not all of them, but yes.
Yeah, some of them. You know what? I'm going to take back everything I said. I'm going to do a little bit of muscle confusion. Rochelle, you know what? When people, the kids now, and even me sometimes, I know everybody gets an alert for how long, iPhone users get an alert for how long they've been on their phone on an average daily. And now I'm hearing kids topping 15, 16 hours on their phone. That is definitely being plugged in. I do not trust TikTok. I heard TikTok be giving information from your phone outside of the app TikTok. When we on the phone connected like that and you're not able to break away from that, that's definitely the Matrix.
Lose.
You know what I mean? And that's why I'm taking a 2-week break from technology just to recharge, reset.
And I think that is so good. And because it's hard to take, you can take a break from like pretty much anything. But when it comes to technology, it's like the hardest because it's like all around us, right? Everywhere we go, everything we do is literally technology based. Right? So even in the Matrix, if you notice, even when he was in the elevator, he was the only one that did not have a device. Everybody else was literally drawn into their devices. When we go out, right? If you go to a restaurant and you see people sitting down, they're on a date or they're with family or whoever, everybody around the table is literally on their phone. Like, what?
Crazy. Insane.
Like, there's no conversation. There is no conversation. Everybody just like zoning on their phone, right? You go to the movies, like even to watch a movie, people are on their phones, right? You go
Really?
to an amusement park, people are on their phones. Like everything that would normally would take you away from technology is even more indulging in technology. And I think with our kids, it's even worse. So,
Hold on, here it is.
mhm.
You even go to a concert and people are watching the concert through their recording on their phone as opposed to really watching it.
So
I
you
agree.
think we are in the matrix then, Baba?
He did say
Yeah,
he
I
was
think
going to
yeah.
do some muscle
Some
confusion.
people are plugged in heavier than others. But you have like there's a tribe off the coast of Australia. They still live primitively. So I think it's more of a Babylonian thing. In Babylon, you got to be connected the same way they forcing. Like, how are you gonna tell me I need to take a vaccine when I feel super healthy? How are you gonna tell me I need to put on my seatbelt when I'm only risking killing myself? If I want to kill myself, let me kill myself. You understand? When you put on that force that you've been taking this since a child. Yes, and I also was wearing diapers when I was a child, but I didn't have a choice. Now that I'm older, I have a choice, Mr. Anderson. I mean, Mr. Smith.
Oh snap! Look at you making matrix references.
Yeah, and even in Jamaica too, they have Jamaica on lockdown also, I believe. And telling people when that is more the matrix to me. When you telling people, yo, you need to wear a mask everywhere you go. Like I hate masks, yo. Like me have a big gigantic nose, and it's hard for me to breathe. And then much less I'm allergic to dust, so it's even harder for me to breathe. So when I have on that mask, I literally feel like I'm killing myself and stifling myself.
Ali, do you have a daughter?
Yes.
Okay. What if, okay, stop thinking about Corona. What if you could do something to, let's say, God forbid, um, you let's say you have a second daughter, right? And the second daughter, second son, he had a disease, and you could do something to heal that disease or to make him better, right? Would you do it?
You got to give me a stronger scenario than that. That
No, no, no.
doesn't
I'm
make a lot of
asking. No,
sense.
no, no. I'm asking. I'm asking. Would you do it?
Give me a stronger scenario. Give me a disease.
No, it
Give
doesn't
me
matter. It's an immune compromised disease. Whatever disease is it, it's immune compromised. And you can do something to prevent that from hurting the child. Or you can do something to make sure that the child is constantly healthy. Would you do it?
yeah, yes, I would
Okay.
like to
All
do
right.
that.
Okay. So when you're wearing a mask, it's not necessarily for you, right? Maybe your immune system is so strong, everything is amazing, but think about all the other children who are probably out there immune compromised that literally cannot help. Like they need somebody to protect them, right? Think about like all the people who are going home to other people who literally are sick, and therefore the only way to help them is to actually just wear a mask. It's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to wear it. It hurts, right? The back of your ears hurts. My nose big, so it hurt my nose. Like all of these things. Like so, would you wear it if that was a thought, or would you be like, oh my god, like it still hurt
Listen,
my nose. I can't do that.
listen. If you immunocompromised, stay home.
No, it's not about
Stay
that.
home.
They are home. They are home, but they need stuff. They need supplies. So now somebody from their home has to go out. But if everybody around them is not wearing a mask, then that person can bring home that disease to them.
Let me ask you a question. Would you like it if me as a man said, Rochelle, you have to get an abortion, or you are not allowed to abort that baby? Would you like that if I told you what to do with
So
your body?
you're equating abortion with
Rochelle, I'm
mask?
asking you a question.
No, hold
I'm
on, I'm
equating.
asking. No, no, no. That's what I'm asking
Well,
you.
because
Are you
I'm asking you a
equating?
question. I'm
Okay.
asking
So
you a question.
okay. So if you told me I should get an abortion, why should
and
I
you
get an
want to have your
abortion?
baby. Because
Am
I'm
I going
telling
to
you
die
what's
if
better.
I have this baby? Am I going to die if I have the
Hold on,
baby?
listen. I'm telling
I'm
you there's too
asking.
much. All right, so
I'm
let's
asking.
do it in
Will
the
I
sense.
die if I don't have the abortion? Will I die?
All right, so let's say you want an abortion, right? But according to laws now, there's not enough
No, no,
babies
no, no,
being
no.
born.
Don't change. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Don't change the question. The question was, you, Ali Aman, told me to get an abortion, and I'm asking you, will I die if I don't get the abortion? Is this a life-threatening thing where if I carry this child, I could probably die, the child could probably die? Is that the reason?
No, no. Well,
So
let's
I'm not
bring
gonna
it.
die.
I said either or. I said either or. But let's say you are not able to afford a child right now. And me as a man and a whole bunch of other men, we put into place that, yo, you need to do this with your body because the world needs more children, but you are not able to afford it. You know you're not able to handle that responsibility. You want to dash with a belly. Now, is that right for me to tell you to throw away your baby when you don't want to? I mean, is it right for me to tell you to keep your child when you don't want to?
Again, if it is a life-threatening decision, then and you're looking out for me, then that's different than you just ordering something for me that makes no sense. So that's why I'm asking you, is there a reason behind your decision? Because asking people to wear masks has not only proven effective, but over the years, people have always worn a mask. The Ku Klux Klan used to wear a mask. They had no problem with masks up until now when people say, okay, don't wear a mask. No, the whole them have a problem with a mask. They all wear masks. So
I think that
Yeah.
now that we're talking about this further, now that I go further into this deep thought, I think that telling people that what they have to do is a part of the matrix. Like me telling you, the kids, your kid must wear a mask all day when virtually no kids are affected by so-called coronavirus. That is the matrix.
oh wow, that's amazing, Ali. Because
Authoritarian.
hold on, I read an article yesterday that said that the kids that are not being vaccinated, that their numbers in the hospital have risen by over 41% in the past 2 to 3 weeks. So I don't know where you got your numbers from. I can actually send you the article. I literally read it last night before I went to sleep. The number of children that are
Yeah.
being hospitalized and that are facing the harshest side effect of COVID, that
Yeah.
number is like all 15 and under.
Okay. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds
No.
like to me the police saying, okay, we're going to investigate the police and see what's wrong with the police. When you have a system that's judging itself, when you have the FDA that's policing itself, of course they're going to make themselves sound good and not sound bad. How many kids died, though? You personally, how many kids does Rochelle personally know that died from coronavirus?
So it's only if we know the people?
No, I'm just
That's
saying.
Okay.
If
So
this
I
thing
can
is
tell
so
you that
terrible,
several, I have not known any child to die from coronavirus, but several of my students have coronavirus. Like several of them were quarantined in my daughter's class. Half of her school they're quarantined. Before
okay.
we went on
And guess
Christmas
what?
break, half of that
Listen.
school stopped coming. And when we checked the
Listen.
numbers for all the other schools in New York City, half of those kids were being quarantined. They are in the hospital.
Elon Musk said, I took 4 COVID tests and 2 came back positive and 2 came back negative on the same day. This is like me telling you you have the cooties. Any test could pop up positive and you could go into quarantining. What I'm asking
But you know
is
that
how many
same
kids...
Elon Musk he was talking about Dogecoin?
Hold on. I'm asking you, how do you know these kids are really sick and dying? Have you seen any kid die?
I don't go to the hospital. I don't see anybody die. I don't see not one person die. I don't want to see anybody die.
Speaking of Elon Musk, though, he's creating this thing called Neuralink. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, that is like where you'll be able to put a chip in your head and you'll be able to instantly link with your phone. And as you think, so shall it be. That's really the matrix, because I feel like as we connect in that way, we don't know who's the person that's receiving the information. Then we'll have a place where the more we get into technology, the more we as human beings can be manipulated by whoever. There's facial stuff now where somebody can look exactly like Rochelle, sound exactly like Rochelle, and it's not Rochelle. Those things dip and dabble into, the matrix. But I think control is not an illusion for right now. And people are complaining. People will always complain. And we got to just live our best lives.
I agree. But again, the system is designed where, like, even your best life, it's also designed by the system.
Yeah.
Because you can never rise above a certain level because they will not allow you to do that unless you're willing to do other things that benefit them.
Another thing I think that's the matrix system is people are like, yo, I'm voting for Democrat, I'm voting for Republican. I have the power to vote. I know some people, y'all, if y'all believe it, that y'all can vote and it makes a difference, kudos to y'all. I don't believe in that shit. I do not believe that voting makes a difference. First of all, each politician is the best liar. Who can lie the best? Secondly, it's two birds of the same wing. I mean, it's two wings of the same bird. So you have the left wing and the right wing, but it's the same bird. Giselle, did you guys hear about Jeffrey Epstein's woman?
Mm-hmm.
Ghislaine. She outed the Ghislaine list. She outed that all the people that was dealing with the child trafficking, and there was a whole bunch of Democrats on there.
No. Just say a whole lot of politicians.
Yes. But
I agree with
called
you.
it out. They said Democrat, blah, blah, blah. Democrat, blah, blah, blah. So I think that when people are like, yo, even when Jamaica, when people are killing each other over the party, JLP and PNP, that's a whole bunch of foolishness. It's like, yo, really, we the people. We are the people. When we put in our hands, when we put in our lives in the decision of other politicians who never lived our life and they've just been going to school to be a politician, they have no idea what it's like for the working person that has to work 40, 60 hours. They don't care about that person. They just want to, whoever's lobbying for them, that's who wins. The person who gets lobbied for the most.
And that's why I was talking about the Hegelian theory. That is it. That both parties, just like what you perfectly said, it's two wings of the same bird. But it doesn't matter which party you're voting for. You're still voting for that 1% that is making all of your choices, right? So basically, we agree with that. And that's why I believe we really don't have a choice. Because if you even say, I don't want an Apple, you're going to have to get an Android. They're the same. They're the same. Because both of them control you. Both of them watch you. Both of them do the same thing. It's not as if one does it and the other doesn't do it.
Follow your steps where you go.
Exactly. Know your location. You could turn that location off 1,000 times. That location stays on. A matter of fact, you can't even turn on the phone before it asks you for your location. You know what I'm saying?
I was talking to a guy, actually, that was working in Silicon Valley a little bit. He was working on programs He was working on at the time a privacy program because he realized, everything is taking our privacy away. And he told me that in a couple of years, they will be able to, your great grandchild or your great great grandchild in a couple of 100 years will be able to have a conversation with you, Rochelle, based on all of the decisions you've made, your digital footprint that you've made. So you understand what I'm saying? A hologram will be able to come of the way you actually thought. But will it be the way you actually thought, or will it be influenced by the
what they want
of
you
that
to say
thing and what they want that person to think in the future? Will there be this freedom, like, yo, this is exactly who this person was, or will it be like, yeah, I want you to buy Coca-Cola because that's what I would have done. You know what I'm saying?
And also, I was watching a Keanu Reeves and Carrie Fisher interview. They're the actors from The Matrix, for those of you who don't know. And literally, there is this new technology, just like what you're saying, there's a new technology that they're using right now where they literally digitize your face and they can let you do any movie, they can let you do gaming. Basically, Keanu was like, if you don't feel like working, they can just use this program to make movies with you and it looks like you. And he was saying, even when you're dead and gone, there was, just like what you're saying, maybe it's the same program, I don't know, right? And then he was worried about it because he was like, now will I have a choice in what I am saying, especially if I'm dead and gone? Like, will it be used for evil? Like, he was just going in about it. Because you never know what these people are doing. The technology is there, but you never know what it's being used for. And I think that's where the problem lies. Because again, the choice, right? You feel as if you have no option. Like there is no choice.
Yeah, right. Now, this is what I like about the metaverse. This is what I like. Because based on, I was talking to Precious Gorgeous, we interviewed with him, and he said this thing where, like, old rappers are always complaining about new rappers and how music has gotten bad. And it's really just change. Change is inevitable. And I think I'm going to stop complaining about change so much and just, some things you got to complain about, yes. Some things is getting too ridiculous. Like, let me not say anything that would insult anybody, but some things are getting really ridiculous. But what I do love about metaverse, and I just thought about this, I'm going to start interviewing for jobs in the metaverse because in the metaverse, you don't need a vaccine because you're not touching anybody. So I'm going to start walking around the metaverse and see who's hiring.
So the only reason that you're going to work with the metaverse is because they don't ask for vaccine.
I'm telling you.
No, I'm asking. Like, that's the only reason. Thing. There's no other reason.
That's the only reason. Yes, I like it because it's not telling me what to do with my body. When you're telling me what to do with my body, then we have a problem. You know what I mean? I feel amazing. You get your vaccine, you're supposed to be like, yo, it don't matter who's not vaccinated. I'm good. You have your seatbelt on in a car. You're supposed to be like, it doesn't matter who doesn't have their seatbelt on. I'm going to be saved if I get licked on. True or false?
Okay, so let me ask you, Ali. There is a law where it's called assisted death, right? And same thing with the choice. But based on what you're saying, because a lot of states have outlawed that law, you cannot assist somebody with their death. It is illegal. You know that. So by you...
Say that again, you're not able to do what?
Okay, so let's say that somebody has cancer, they're in stage 4, they're in a whole lot of pain, like a pain day and night. If you go in and you kill them, they beg you to kill them and you kill them, you can be charged. That's called assisted death.
Mm.
You cannot help them to hurt themselves. If you help somebody to hurt themselves, you are liable to face punishment. That's the same thing with seatbelts, right? The government is saying we don't want to be a part of you getting hurt. If you're going to get hurt, do that on your own. That's why it became mandated. Same thing with the mask, right? It's just that people aren't being held accountable in the ways that they should, right? But just like how I can assist somebody to kill themselves, even if I see that they're in pain and they need to die, it's the same thing. If I know I need to wear the mask to protect people around me, then I'm going to do that. Not for me, but because of the people around me. You don't think so?
Again, we were living for, how long were you living for? You were 22, so you've been living for 21 years, 20 years in this life, and you used to cough, you used to sneeze, and there was no problem before. Now all of a sudden, if you cough and sneeze, you're a danger to society.
Because there is a whole pandemic outside.
Make it make sense. And there's a whole vaccine that's supposed to work. There's a whole
vaccine only works if everybody takes it.
And
the vaccine doesn't work if one person takes it.
Listen, if there's going to be a new vaccine that everybody going to have to take, because there's going to be a new virus. The
do you know
more you
why?
take,
Okay. Do you know why there are variants?
What? There are variants because people are compromising their immune system by getting a vaccine. The strong. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
What are you saying? I'm not talking about corona vaccine. I'm talking about vaccines in general. Have you ever studied them? Have you ever studied the first vaccine that was ever created? Have you ever studied? I'm not talking, let's take corona vaccine out of this whole argument right now. But do you understand how vaccines work?
Yes. They take the actual virus, they break it up and put it in your body so that your body recognizes it and attacks it when it sees it.
So that your body, hold on. So they give you, whether it's genetically modified, a weakened or dead virus, right? And then when your body gets it, your body literally builds up antibodies, which is like an army to fight the virus. So it's not like you won't get sick because you actually have the virus. Hold on. Because you're building up your army to fight the virus. However, listen to this. However, the longer a virus stays out and is not stopped, then it has time to mutate. And that is what is happening because people are not doing what they need to do. They're not giving what they're supposed to give. So now this vaccine is like, yo, let me just change up on them. Oh, I'm still around. Let me just change up some more. It's like you wearing a pair of drawers. You don't wear that pair of drawers forever. You got to change it up, right? Because after a while, you get tired of your drawers. That's the same way with the vaccine. If he's still around, he's like, yo, I need to just go change up my outfit, come back brand new. That's how we get variants. But if you're able to shut it down and everybody do what they need to do, and again, I'm not saying everybody should get vaccinated, whatever. If you want to get vaccinated, that's on you. But if you're not going to be vaccinated, then you need to wear a mask. No, I'm not. I'm saying if you're not going to if you're not going to get the vaccine, wear a mask. You can't be having so many struggles. You got to do one thing. You can't decide you're not going to get vaccinated and you're not going to wear a mask and you're not going to do nothing to help nobody. Then that to me is like, okay, so we're just going to live our lives like this. You have kids. I have kids. It's not just about me. It's about their longevity. We don't even know the side effects of what COVID is actually going to do 10, 30 years down the line, just like polio. They didn't know that several years down the line what was going to happen, just like chickenpox. Now, if you don't get that chickenpox vaccine and you had chickenpox, do you know what it doesn't leave your body? It stays in your body. And do you know what it comes out as when you're 50 and 60? Do you know what it comes back as, Ali?
What's up?
Chickenpox. If you never got the chickenpox vaccine and you got chickenpox, do you know what it comes back as 30, 40, 50 years later? Do you know what it comes back as?
No, tell me.
It comes back as shingles. And I don't know if you know what shingles are. They're terrible sores along your body. Like you can't put on clothes, you can't put on nothing. It's just like open pus sores, huge lesions along your body. That's because people are like, we ain't going to take the chickenpox vaccine. They got chickenpox because they thought, oh, it's just a few little bumps on your face, but that stays in your body. We don't know what COVID is going to do because even if we don't have the side effects now, we don't know the long-term effects because it's not been here. This COVID-19 has not been here for that long for us to even know the side effects of it. Maybe you're asymptomatic now, but we don't know in another 10, 15, 20 years. Maybe you did have it, you made antibodies, but what was the long-term effect that it had on your body? We don't know that. And we won't know until another 10, 15, even 20 years down the road.
Well, let me just say the God that I believe in and the mind that the God that I believe in gave me tells me that I'm good. The mind that I have tells me that I'm great and tells me that, hey, you're healthy. Here's another thing. If politicians really, the leaders really believed that they wanted to do everything to make us healthy, I believe they would shut down every last fast food store.
Yep.
They would shut down liquor stores.
Yep.
They would tell people to stop eating meat.
Yep.
They would give free programs for yoga.
Yep.
All gyms would be free.
Yep.
This is how you cure people of a sickness.
Yep.
Not telling them to get a vaccine that's been tested for less than a year and rush to the market. Another thing, the Tuskegee experiment, they told black people of African descent that they were getting a vaccine and they were actually getting syphilis. The people that I know who've taken the vaccine, one person I know took the vaccine, got a stroke. Another person I know took the vaccine, died. Now, I don't know anybody who hasn't taken the vaccine and has died. Personally, me. Nobody I know who is
everybody you know that has taken the vaccine have died.
I never said that. I said 2 people I know have taken it and have had serious health effects.
And that's directly linked to the vaccine.
I don't know. But all I know is they weren't dead before they took it.
Okay.
I know they didn't have
How many people you know have died from corona?
Nobody. I know 0 people. Now, if you want to say how many people have I heard of that died in a hospital, a lot of people. But guess what? I don't trust the hospitals. I do not trust the hospitals.
So if you get sick, you will never go to a hospital?
I will do my best not to go to a hospital. I brought my daughter to a hospital, a doctor the other day, and they told my daughter, hey, you need to drink milk. She's 9 years old. She's like, you need to drink milk to get calcium and vitamin D. And I'm not a doctor, but I would never tell anybody to drink regular milk. I'm sure a lot of people know by now that cow's milk is the worst thing ever. Do you know that, Rochelle, or no?
I think black people aren't able to break down lactose, yeah.
Right. But this Caucasian doctor who's supposed to know more than me tells our daughter that. And it's like, what? Western medication and Western hospitals is different from Eastern medication and Eastern hospitals. You understand?
So again, my question to you, if you get sick,
one tries to cure you, and the other one tries to make you a permanent patient. If I get sick, I'm not going to the hospital shy of breaking something. I have to. When the last time I went to the hospital, I got hit by a car and I
But you
survived.
shouldn't go to
Thank
the
God.
hospital because you don't trust them.
You're right. You're right.
You shouldn't
But
go. You should try to
it was
band it up yourself and try to make it work.
it was a natural reaction after being a little bit confused. I actually walked to the hospital because I was just so confused as to getting hit. But yeah, there's programming that we follow. For instance, eating meat. Eating meat. They put hormones in the chicken. 98% of restaurants don't buy organic meat. The chickens are stressed out. They break their legs. They're not able to walk, but because they get too fat, and we're eating that. Like,
But Ali, that's the
does
same
that
thing
make
for the
any
fruits
sense?
and veggies. It's the same thing for fruits and veggies as well. Do you think that what we're eating, it's not even coming from seeds?
You
A
know what
matter of
a
fact, that's why
sentient
they're
being
killing
is?
out all the bee. They're killing out all the bees because all these GMO, right? They are literally killing out the bees. Bees normally are the number one help when it comes to germination. Half of our food are not being germinated by bees. So how are we getting all these food? Because it's all GSMO.
Okay, and that's the matrix part right there. Yes, that
Because
is
you
the
don't have a
matrix
choice
part.
in what you
When we're
put in your
not eating
body.
organically anymore, when we're eating food out of a lab, like for instance, carrots, orange carrots was man-made. It was created by man. And some can say, yo, this helps out world hunger for, you know what I mean, Africans who don't have food. But also, why is Africa the richest country in the world, but yet the brokest country in the world? You know? So it's like, that's where we need to start.
And that's why when we, the original question that we came back to was, do we really have a choice? Right? We really don't. Like, look at poor Africa. They're not poor in no sense. 90% of all diamonds come from Africa, right?
Right.
Most of the world
Yeah.
resources come from Africa. But because of their lack of choice, because somebody else was pulling all their strings, they cannot reap those benefits. Right? And that is why I honestly, this is going to be my closing thought, Ali. I believe we are living in the matrix. I believe that we're so plugged in. And you said it again, the food we eat, what we buy, the clothes we wear, the type of job that we do, everything is kind of predestined, right? It's kind of chosen for you, and it's just you falling into line. Because whether you're a teacher, a policeman, a nurse, an entrepreneur, you still have to abide by their rules. It's still their rules that you have to abide by. So do you
Yes.
really have a choice? Because it doesn't matter which one of those you chose. You can be like, oh, well, I work for myself. Yeah, but do you still have to pay taxes at the end of the year? Mm-hmm. Do you still have to file this and that in their system? Yes, you do. It doesn't matter which one you choose. You're still automatically falling under their system. You're still plugged into the matrix.
Babylon tries to put you into the matrix, definitely. And we got to try to live off the grid for real. Um, my girl is trying to buy a house right now, and she said, "There's no way you could pay off the loan. You could pay a little bit over, but you're not able to pay the loan off too early. You could. It's a 30-year loan, and the earliest you could pay it off in is 25 years, and that is because they won't be able to make interest if you pay it off too early. That is
Mm-hmm.
a Babylonian trick. That's a matrix trick. There's
Mm-hmm.
things set in play. I don't know. Like I feel like there's a lot of things set in play to cause us to fall into that trap. I used to buy every iPhone, one, two, three, four, five, six, and I just felt like I had to keep up with the Joneses. And now it's like I got an iPhone SE, and I'm happy. I don't need a new phone until my phone breaks. I don't have to be down with the newest upgrade. Like, it's okay. It's okay to be behind. It's okay to write things on a piece of paper and not always be on your phone.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is absolutely true. But thank you, everybody, for listening to another thought-provoking Wagwan.
Yo, blessings. I hope you.
Yes, bless up, everybody. Have a great week.
And if y'all find out how to unplug from the Matrix, let us know. We're on IG, Instagram. You can reach us at Wagwan Podcast. The link in the description. You can email us at wagwanpodcast@gmail.com. And if y'all love what Rochelle said, hail her up.
And if you like what Ali said, of course, big him up. And if you like what Dre said, big him up as well. Yes.
Yes. All right. Bless.
Bye-bye.